are rolling with wrath.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see more clouds and sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the upper 50s to low 60s. There's a chance of a few showers tonight. Otherwise, we will see cloudy skies. An overnight low will drop down to near 35. On Tuesday, partial sunshine, a high in the low 40s. And then Wednesday, expecting sunny skies and low 40s. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that can respect it. Oh, actually, if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Judge, man, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Morning. All right, welcome in. It's halftime. Cloudy Monday outside my home studio. Good to be with you today. Matt Jones and Christian Johnston in the main studios. And we got you for the next 3 hours on halftime on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. Matt Jones, good morning. Do you have a It was a little odd, without an Arkansas football game last week. And I know we had the 2 byes over the course of the regular season, but, you accept that's part of a season. It's a little bit odd to not have an Arkansas football game and yet be able to sit down and watch some of the championship games as well. Really fun games. Yesterday was a little bit crazy as far as the playoff bracket's concerned. We know what Arkansas's postseason fate is, so a lot of football over the weekend. We got a lot of football coming up in the next few months.
Yeah, man, it was a chill weekend. Watched a lot of ball. Man, yesterday morning, 10:30 game. It was Tottenham at Chelsea. Well, it's actually the Spurs were the home team, but it's a London derby game, and the Spurs go up 2-0, and the Chelsea comes back and ends up winning 4-3. So it was a thrilling way to get it going on. And then those college football games were pretty good on Saturday. I was impressed with SMU. Even though they lost. And then sometimes, you just have the other team's number. Georgia just seems to have Texas's number.
They really do, don't they? It doesn't matter who's behind center either. That was something else watching Carson Beck walk out there with his right arm dangling down. He could barely move that arm.
Right.
Yeah. That really. I thought to myself, no, are you really actually going to be able to hand the ball off? Just had to do it once, right up the middle, and finish the game in overtime. That was an entertaining football game. I think Georgia right now for me should be the odds-on favorite. I'll usually go with an SEC champion when it comes time for a national champion. But I do. It's beating Texas's defense twice. I'm not impressed with the offense for Texas very much.
They're kind of soft.
Threw a couple of interceptions. I think there were 2 more that were left out there, and who knows? Maybe Georgia might be a little better with Stockton instead of Beck and the issues that he's had throwing interceptions. But, hey, I'll always go with the SEC champion coming into the college football playoff, whether it's 4 or whether it's 12. And, those are the numbers getting thrown around a lot. What do you got on a number that's $805 million potentially? Did you see the deal Juan Soto is signing with the Mets?
I heard that $5 million was really important too.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's right. It's an extra $4 million after the 5 years where he can opt out. I wouldn't bring up like hot stove stuff in the first segment here when the playoff bracket was released yesterday and you had the Liberty Bowl bid and everything. But this is the biggest contract in sports.
That the Yankees offered him the same deal. The Mets just offered him $5 more million, like the exact same deal. That was it's crazy.
It is. It absolutely is crazy. And people figure, well, why is he making that much compared to Ohtani and everything? And I just know that the Mets owner has more money than he knows to work with. $805 million is a lot of money. Cohen, the Mets owner, Matt, he's worth $23.1 billion. So $805 million over 15 years. I mean, it'd make a little bit of a ripple in the ocean of all that money, but that was just absolutely amazing. All right, you got that out of the way. What do you think of the playoff? What do you think we got here? It's a little absurd. It is absurd to see that, your seedings and your rankings are different here, but it's absurd for the number 16 team in the country to get in over 4 other teams that were ranked ahead of them. It's absurd to have the number 12 team in the country get a bye. The more I think about it, these buys from the championship games and the auto bids just sort of turn this football tournament into something that looks a little, maybe not even a little bit absurd, incredibly absurd for Oregon to have to play either Tennessee or Ohio State first and Texas to get Clemson and then Arizona State. I mean, I guess I don't know what to believe as far as Texas is concerned, but that defense can play against anybody. They may score all the points they need. It's a little bit of an absurd bracket, Matt, but it's the one we got this year, and I'd be surprised if the format is the same next year.
Man, if you're Notre Dame, I think you like your draw, but then you get Georgia second. I mean, Boise State, as much as I kind of get on them, SMU, Penn State, that's the best draw you could get right there. Oregon, you're right, man. Oregon, either one of those teams, because those are just physical teams, and then You know what messed it up was Clemson and Notre Dame. So if Notre Dame goes 9-3, that's an extra team. If Clemson would have lost, then you'd had another team in there. Clemson wouldn't have made it. They won and got in. So yeah, I mean this is what we get. I like Oregon. I like Georgia in a big game. I like Kirby Smart. I would guess I would handicap it that way. Oregon or Georgia.
But this isn't really
even though they lost their quarterback.
This isn't really about the best teams, though. Truthfully, because I think Ole Miss, I think South Carolina, both are better than Clemson, and South Carolina proved that on the football field not too long ago, actually, too. It's just, hey, here's the aspect of this too. There's all the complaining that's going on from league commissioners, from head coaches.
I think it's funny
fans and everything. But this is the system they agreed upon. I mean, the commissioners agreed upon this system. They're the ones that said, yeah, we'll do this. I guess maybe it's an experiment, but it's what it feels like. What do you think is funny?
Boise State and Arizona State both get in buys. I mean, they talk about easy schedules, and they they get to play one less game.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, do you remember, like, we would say getting into the season, we were trying to remember what the playoff bracket, how it was going to be built. Like, how many different times have we seen the Reese Davis video of explaining what the football playoff looks like? We all know what it looks like now. But at the start of when this all occurred, I remember the thought was, well, all right, so the Power Four teams get the automatic bids. That's just the way you win a Power Four league, you get an automatic bid. It was just like an assumption. Now, if you read into it, you knew it was the top 4 ranked conference champions. But the wild thing is to look at this and say, well, all right, I guess winning the Mountain West means more than winning the ACC, at least this year. How many other years would you actually say that? Not many, if any. This may be the first and only time that it happens, too.
Do you think Georgia, and we didn't really bring this up, but you knew something was going to happen, but could you believe that it was Georgia's starting quarterback? Now he's out for the rest of the year, and it happened in the SEC championship game? Because when we talk about baseball, you talk about how they don't pitch the A player to start an SEC baseball championship, but, when you play football, you got to play your A player.
Yeah, well, and Brandon has the logic here about the quarterback getting hurt right from last year in Florida State and everything. So that means they're not supposed to, I don't know how you're not supposed to get in or anything. It's just they got an automatic bid. They got an automatic bid by winning their championship game. So that the logic of that makes no sense because Florida State ended up, there were no automatic bids for last year. So you can't go by what happened last year and say that this is going to happen this year because there weren't automatic bids previously. And then today, Matt, is the day that the Warp Zone opens. Can we go with the Warp Zone for the time that it's actually open again?
I know we left Friday. We left the show saying who was going to jump in. How many? Do we got a number on how many more guys jumped in?
Well, by my count, I saw this morning Dylan has went into the portal or announced. Well, I guess he does. No surprise. His brother goes in, so he's going to go in too. So that would be. I got it at 11.
Okay,
I got 11 Razorbacks that have gone in, 8 on the offensive side. Here's the thing, though, and I've looked around, maybe not at every SEC team, but in my prep this morning, I looked at Mizzou, I looked at Auburn, I looked at A&M, Oklahoma, Florida, even a couple of other SEC schools, Mississippi State. I think Arkansas has lost more offensive talent into the portal than any other SEC school. I saw Auburn lost one of their top receivers today. It's like I remember last week we're thinking, well, every team is going through this, and I think they are to an extent. It's not equal for everybody, but looking at the production that is leaving Arkansas, or I think in some people's minds the expected production if Malachi Singleton would have stayed at quarterback, probably more production yardage-wise, not touchdown-wise necessarily, but yardage-wise, and with 2 starters on your offensive line, I think Arkansas may have lost, as of now, more in the portal offensively than maybe any other team in the SEC. But that also leaves open opportunities for other players to come in and try to replace that production, and hopefully less fumbles too, whoever it is that comes in.
Were you impressed with Penn State at all, even though they didn't get the W? The fact
pretty typical Penn State, though,
the way they were able to put up some points, though, or do you just think that's kind of Oregon's recipe?
I think it's Oregon's recipe, and I think in Penn State's instance, it's like, you play to win the game, and it's just – I saw somebody describe this. This is funny. Penn State would be if somebody turned a bronze medal into a university. That's not my material, but it fits pretty well. Here's the thing, though. You finish in second place in the Big Ten, and it is a good game. It's the same with SMU. SMU losing by 2 touchdowns is a heck of a lot different than losing on a 50-however-yard walk-off field goal. Penn State deserves to be in the playoff. If you're the second-place team in the Big Ten, fine, go for it. I mean, it's all fine. They did beat Illinois. I mean, Illinois gets to play in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, so that's a team that's ranked too. They're 20th, so I mean that's a good win. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I mean, have you seen anything from Penn State that makes you think that they can? Well, now that I'm looking at the path, maybe it's a little different, right?
Who do they play
SMU,
first?
Boise. They get SMU and Happy Valley, and then they'd have to play Boise in the Fiesta Bowl.
I think Penn State's going to go 2-0. I mean, they're going to go 2-1, but I think they win both those games.
Well, and then they probably run into Georgia.
And then I don't like them anymore, yeah.
Or Notre Dame. Right, and then you're back at the
man,
place
that Notre Dame, they might be the happy. I know you got to play Georgia, and it's probably going to be one of those first 1 to 21 type of games as long as you don't, give up the big play. But they got to be, I mean, they got to be the happiest knowing that the quarterback's out.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what we got for halftime for this Monday. We're going to talk with Tommy Kraft, who is our man in New York City, with Arkansas playing Michigan tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Tommy is on assignment, a very difficult assignment in Manhattan, so we'll talk to him at 1:15 for something that Ty always wants to call it behind enemy lines, but this is a neutral site game. It's not an enemy line. It's kind of like behind neutral lines or standing in the demilitarized zone or something like that. I don't know, but we'll talk with Tommy at 1:15. 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center at 12:15, and we'll do Mike Irwin at the bottom of this hour, 11:30. So we can open it up for you right now if you want to get on. Hotline is 877-377-6963. The Warp Zone is open, making plans for Memphis, and less available seats than the last time Arkansas played in the Liberty Bowl 2 years ago with some construction. We'll get into some of that and maybe your calls and texts if you bring it right after this.
It makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody. This is halftime.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, the 40, the 30, college at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot,
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I was captured by the star, but I could not get you back. Now I stand here helplessly, hoping you get into me. I am so.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, it looks like just as the show started, and I hadn't checked it out during the first segment, but more Razorbacks have entered the portal, and you lost the Haas brothers to the portal. Now the Metcalf brothers are going into the portal too. That's right, off the defense. Tevis Metcalf and TJ Metcalf going both together into the portal together. So that's 5 defensive players, and that includes 3 starters. Nico Davier went in on Friday. He didn't. I don't think he played in the Missouri game. I don't remember him out there, but he started most of the others. Jalen Braxton announced he went into the portal, that he was going into the portal. That, to me, felt like a foregone conclusion because I think he played 1 game, and then it was a question all season long. How's the injury? How's the injury? Bone bruise is what we were told, and just felt like anytime there was something positive to say about it, the next time you heard about him, it was well, we still don't know. So I don't know if he had his mind made up a while back, but it's 13 players now, Matt, and I may have missed on a couple of others, but I think these are the players that have made an impact before. So here you go. Jaden Wilson, and he left the team earlier this year. Varkey's Gums and Ty Washington. Washington tweeted he got an offer from USF, so they're looking at him. Amari Wiggins, who we didn't really see very much of, it's a backup center. Then there's Haz, Malachi Singleton, both Patrick Kudus, and Josh Braun. Braun had a situation on Friday that I don't quite understand. He announced he was going into the portal. Then he said, no, hold on a moment, I'm not. Then he said he's going back in. So who knows what was going on there. And on the defensive side, Braxton Davier, Dylan Haz, and both of the Metcalfs. And this is just at 11:21 in the morning, the day that the portal opens.
Yeah, anytime you can get a James Harden pump fake in there, that's you're doing something right. So kind of get in. I don't know. Man, those are all good players. I mean, those are guys that you'd want to see continue on. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those guys, because you talk about, where do these guys end up? Do they end up making an impact? All those guys you just said, except for maybe Dylan Haas, I don't know much about him, but everybody else you just said, man, those guys, they'll probably be starting somewhere next year.
Has, I think, made an impact on special teams. You could see him on kickoff and punt return, and on the punt team. He was somebody that gave a lot of effort. But
I like
brother
Metcalf.
Goes over the portal. He's going to too. Well, you beat Auburn, but mostly off of Metcalf's.
It was a great game.
Handed him like five turnovers, right? And for a defense that didn't turn the ball over all that much, that was the single best performance by a defensive player all season long for Arkansas.
9 out of 10 times.
Well, that would be the one, I guess. So that's a lot. I mean, that's also a lot of experience in that case. Has plenty of experience. Kudus, 2 years getting out there on the line at tackle and then at guard. And Braun, who's, man, I mean, he had nothing but great things to say about Pittman, of why he came to Arkansas to begin with the recruitment going back to the days that Sam was the recruiting coordinator and O-line coach at Georgia. The Kudus thing is wild because now you're starting to see, crystal balls coming in from 24/7 Sports that Kudus is going to sign with Ole Miss. And we brought this up, I think, the week of the Ole Miss game. He said on a podcast over the spring that he was raised to hate Ole Miss.
But we love that money.
Their money is just as green as any other school's money.
That's funny.
And well, I mean, look, that's part of it. That's part of this too. You look at some of these players. Guys that we know can play in the SEC. We can point to the idea. It's like, all right, well, don't be too upset about losing players off a team that went 6-6. But I don't think that Has was a reason that Arkansas lost too many games, right? Singleton helped win a game for you. Kudus, I think there was an uptick in line play once he was healthy and got there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can't point to the guys who I think were maybe a reason that you actually won 6 of the games and say, well, we're just 6-6, so don't worry about it too much. But it does. Here's the other, like, all you can do right now, Matt, is just react to who's leaving. And these are some of your best players, but it does open opportunities for somebody else. I just think the way that you're looking at this, if some of these players end up going to other SEC teams, are you replacing them with players who have already produced in this league? You did that with Slaughter. You didn't necessarily do that with Sorey because he didn't have a chance to produce at Georgia, but obviously the talent transferred over here. Or are we looking more in is this more money ball? You got to find the player who somebody else doesn't value. The next guy to come up from Division II, which I think they're looking at that too. But I wonder if you're also hopefully looking at players that have produced in the SEC and might have the funds to get some of them.
I could see Haas going to Penn State. I watched that tight end from Penn State play, number 44.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just typecasting him, but he reminds me of Dallas Clark, another number 44 that was an Iowa tight end that played for the Colts for years. I think he might be the first tight end off the board. I don't know. I haven't delved into the tight ends, the Mel Kiper style, but man, that dude, he's all over the place.
Well, today, since the portal's open, now you can start to see the announcements made by players that they're coming to Arkansas or that some of these guys are headed somewhere else.
Do you think he
in the
sees
SEC.
that? Do you think Luke Haas sees that and says, man, I'm as good as that kid right there, number 44 from Penn State. Look how much fun he's having. Look at all what he, do you think that's something he wants to go somewhere like that and be able to have a chance to play in the playoff 12 next year?
I don't know a tight end that wouldn't want to be utilized that way.
I mean, he looks like he's having the best time out there,
Yeah, I mean, there's rumors that there's a disconnect maybe between Petrino and some of the players here, but I mean, then all you got to look at is the number of players that are leaving and how many of those are starters, and you wonder, whose decision is this in this case? Was this the coordinator and the head coach saying maybe you need to look somewhere else because we're going to replace you with somebody better, or are these guys just jumping ship at the earliest opportunity and go find a place that hey, I think somebody leaves, no matter what, they're looking for something that in their eyes they view as a better situation for them personally, professionally, academically, whatever. But, based upon where a lot of these players end up going, I think they'll be looking for something that maybe is more stable in their mind. And maybe stable isn't the right word. Let's say Kuta signs with Ole Miss. That's a program right now that is just they're in a better place than Arkansas. They're winning more games than Arkansas right now. They thought they were going to have a chance to compete for a national championship. They aren't going to get that this year, but that doesn't mean they're not going to put the same sort of money forward next season. And, the whole idea of the sign of come to the SIP, I think part of that is come to the SIP. We're paying you money that other schools aren't, and we've got designs on a national championship.
I wonder who their non-conference is, because didn't you say everybody in the SEC you're going to play the same schedule? So
That's right.
So they have the same opponents that they had last year, and that Kentucky loss was the one that we kind of point to that kind of got them. But so you're going to get LSU, and then Florida's going to be better next year. So yeah, they're going to have still if they make it there. I mean, they're going to earn it. They got Georgia and LSU on your schedule. I mean, you got to be 10-2 get you in.
877-377-6963 to get with us here. Hog Wild says, unbelievable. Half the team leaving, and the program is rudderless. Well, right now there's certainly you don't know anyone that's coming in, but it's not like they're not going to have players coming in. I just wonder where it is they're coming from and what sort of production have they shown where they were previously. Chris says he wouldn't go to an SEC rival for any amount of money on earth. But Chris, you're not in those players' situation. I think it's very difficult to place yourself in anybody else's shoes and say, like, who knows how much money's being offered in this case. We all want to think that we'd be loyal in these cases, and I'll bet you, like 18-year-old Patrick Kutas, when he said that he was raised to hate Ole Miss, I don't think in the back of his mind he ever thought that Ole Miss might be coming at him with a bag, if that is the case. So. You hear the same thing from that the people say about professional athletes. And look, those guys are doing it for a living. And even if we don't know what it feels like to have the difference between $5 million and $10 million, there's a difference between that. And I think it's difficult to get in a player's mindset here.
It's a great time to be a college athlete.
Certainly is. It certainly is.
Man.
Enjoy it while it lasts. I mean, it's not like things are going to be getting bad for college athletes. I just wonder if this unfettered free agency of college sports, it's not just college football. The difference in how this affects college football is that it takes bowl season and turns it into an utter joke. Baseball season's different. Basketball season's different. Were there a couple of players that left their teams before the NCAA basketball tournament? They leave before the NIT and be like, all right, fine. With baseball, nobody's leaving before the baseball tournament. Nobody is. So this to me feels like a college football thing, and it has so much to do with ruining bowl season. But then it's also just this is unfettered free agency in a way that no professional sports league has ever done. Because Matt, these players right now literally are free agents every single year. Every year,
independent contractors. It's crazy, man.
All right, we'll break here in a moment. Don't forget, you got a fisherman in your life. You want to make sure that fisherman's got the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue in his or her tackle box. That's when you're cold water bass fishing on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, fishing for a trophy brown on the mighty white. Get them that Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue, or get them more, because they can't only just have one or two in the tackle box. It has that famous rolling action when it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. The Rogue suspends, it's in the strike zone longer, and you catch more fish. You find the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue at Walmart, Bass Pro, Academy, LearNet, and tackle stores everywhere. And you find Halftime at 877-377-6963. We'll be right back after this.
Coverage is presented by Futrell Marine. Futrell Marine has Kawasaki Ridge and Ridge XR side-by-sides, offering peak premium performance that can handle whatever the outdoors throws your way. Gear up at FutrellMarine.com. And by Mock Legal Solutions, now in Fort Smith and Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Quality legal services for a low, flat cost. Call Jackie Mock at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
It's been waiting for you to tell you.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wait Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to... Treatments. Your health journey begins with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. Call 479-242-9355 for your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Headed to our hotline. Mike Irwin is with us here from Pig Trail Nation. Always appreciate time with Mike. Day after the playoff is released, Mike, the day the portal opens, the day after a Liberty Bowl invite is accepted by the Razorbacks, and we have no idea who's going to be playing in that game for them or for Texas Tech. So it ought to be fun, huh?
Well, so far Tech hasn't lost the number of starters that Arkansas has, but I mean, this keeps changing like every few hours. I guess DJ Metcalf is the latest one, and I don't know what we're up to. Arkansas clearly is going to have some issues on the D line. They're going to have issues on the offensive line at wide receiver. But when you look at the depth there are people. Some people have been asking me, well, we're going to have enough guys to play. Yes, you have enough guys to play. You even have backups in most cases who played a lot who can move in there. Now, what they do is another question. But we also may see Sam Pittman in his yesterday in his Liberty Bowl press, or it was actually a Zoom, he pointed out that in 2022 Arkansas was without, I think he said 9 starters, and they still won the game. So it's not like this hasn't happened before, but this doesn't look very good. Now, you look at Texas Tech, and a lot of people are I'm reading a lot of stuff, Arkansas is going to get blown out, blah, blah, blah. That's from the Arkansas side. I've got a ton of friends that are Texas Tech fans because I grew up out there. And it's interesting to listen to them because they're about as mad at their team as Arkansas fans are mad because they had these big losses. They were really excited, and they went out to Colorado and just got blown out. So their fans are mad about them doing that. And then their fans don't have the same attitude about the Liberty Bowl that Arkansas has just been in the Liberty Bowl too much. It's really not a bad bowl game. If you really look at some of the events, even for fans, the Beale Street thing they have the night before the game, there's a lot going on over there. But the weather's usually really cold, and it's probably going to be that way again. Why they're playing it, I guess the TV people said, you got to play this at night. But I think with Arkansas, it's just fans are tired of going to Memphis, whereas Texas Tech fans think this is a good bowl, and they kind of like it, and are in some cases even surprised that they got that bowl. They thought maybe they would get a lower bowl than that. So it's just all in your perspective.
Hey, Mike, with the playoff 12 coming out, how do you handicap it? Do you got a favorite? I tend to think number 1 overall seed Oregon. I like Georgia as well. You think do you have a favorite?
Well, I'd probably go with Georgia. But look, when you get into 12, and this is what I've said all along, I think it becomes more interesting because you have a bigger chance of upsets. I mean, Texas looks good in this. They could win it all. But on the other hand, you could just have somebody. I don't think there are teams people are mad that they're in there. SMU, how'd they get in there? The way I look at this, everybody that didn't get in had a chance. You can say there should have been 5 SEC teams in, even 6 SEC teams that are better than some of these other teams. You can argue that, but this is what it is. I think they'll probably very quickly go to 16, but each time they expand it, you still end up with people that are mad. I like it because, honestly, I could pick somebody that I think is going to win, but I like the fact that I really don't know. And that's what I like about sports. I want to sit and watch something and not have a strong attitude about what's going to happen. That's what makes it fun for me.
Well, the way that everybody converses about this, it's like, oh, if you vote for Travis Hunter for the Heisman, you don't deserve a vote and all. They're like, shut up already. I'm sick of the way people talk about
Dude
this.
played 120 plays a game, man. It's something we ain't seen.
I don't think it's wrong to vote either way in that case, but I want to go back to something you said about the not opt-outs, because this is transfer portal stuff for Arkansas. It isn't, for me, it isn't the effect that it has on the bowl game. It's just understood your bowl game, if you're not playing in the playoff, it's not going to look like what your team looked like throughout the season. It's a standalone season. It's a weird, standalone one-game season. So they lost all the starters 2 years ago before the Liberty Bowl, win the Liberty Bowl, but then went 4-8, 1-7. That's the thing I think that people are more
Right.
nervous about. It's not the bowl game. It's what does it do to it's a lot of production you have to replace on both sides right now.
That's right. And there's also this, and this mostly has to do with Kudus and this whole thing. And he's been silent on this, so I got to go with what Pittman says until Kudus says something. But in Pittman's version of this, and it looks like it's borne out because Kudus did miss that one game, that Louisiana Tech game, and it was supposed to be the game that would allow him to redshirt. And then if you listen to Pittman, he just misrepresented himself and said, yeah, I'm coming back, absolutely, and then he's not. And he also apparently is on video saying at some point, I didn't go back and look at when this was, how much he disliked Ole Miss, and now there's word that he might be going to Ole Miss. And what a lot of people are doing right now is it's starting to hit them that with a lot of these players, it is not about wanting to play for you. It's just about me and what's the best deal I can get. And you can be cynical and say, this is pro football now. Let me tell you something, guys. This ain't pro football because pro football has rules. There are no rules right now. It's unlimited free agency. Do whatever you want. Bid as much as you want. They have controls in the NFL to prevent that stuff. If they didn't, the Dallas Cowboys would win the Super Bowl every year. It's not just about money in the NFL, but in college right now, it's Ole Miss with their $20 million in transfer portal money, and we'll just buy people left and right. Now, it didn't work out for them, but that's where we're at right now, and fans are starting to react negative to the idea that you as a player came in here. We bought tickets. We rooted for you. You were a Razorback, and then we find out you weren't a Razorback at all. You were just a hired hand, and you have no more loyalty to us than to anybody else, so why should we even care anymore? And I
think, Mike, in some ways we automatically believe that it has to do with money, and I think in a lot of cases it does. But I'd wondered about this when Sam had mentioned, like the blue plate special offensive line. I don't, even if that's the truth, I don't think those linemen really, want to hear that kind of thing. I do wonder how much of this is about money and then how much of it is about still relationships, that the relationship might not have been as strong as the Arkansas coaches had thought. That, I think a lot of people believe that right now.
Well, yes, and we would have to be in the minds of each individual player to know who did what, when, where, and how. But I'm just telling you, the longer this goes on without being something happening, the more the attitude spreads. And I'm not just talking about Arkansas. It's starting to spread all over college football that, hey, this is a deal where I got to get mine. I got to get more playing time over here. Or I got to get more money over here. It's not about what was best for the team. I mean, I don't know why Luke has left. Maybe he didn't feel like he got enough touches. But maybe Bobby Petrino felt like this is what they had to do to win. And so I don't like you. You're an offensive coordinator. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe it's that. But in most cases, for years and years and years, when you couldn't just jump in without any sort of controls at all, in the old days, there were consequences of transferring out. And a lot of players stayed, and some of them ended up better in the end because they're doing that. And that's just going away. Now, this new revenue-sharing thing will reduce that, I believe. But, guys, Nick Saban said something yesterday that just gave me the willies. He basically was talking about this whole idea that the SEC didn't get enough players in the playoffs. And he hinted at this thing we've heard about where the SEC and the Big Ten may just get together at some point soon and just say, hey, we're creating a new division, and you can either be in our division or you can get lost. And I don't want to see that happen to the rest of college football. I don't want to see these mid-majors put in a position where they can't play any of these people anymore. It's this idea, we're elite, we have money, you don't, go away. And if that's what it's about, just money, who has the most money to pay the most players, where are we headed with this thing? I'm not going to follow it. I will follow a lower division if it's not about money than all these guys, because we got more money than you, so we'll bid this, you bid that, and they think that's all right. I don't like that mentality. I don't. It's not in the NFL. And it's not in the NFL for a reason, because they're smart enough to realize that that turns fans off.
You are right. It's an inflection point for college football right now. Although I still hear people talk about I'm not going to watch anymore. I'm not going to watch anymore, and the ratings are still shooting through the roof. I mean, this playoff here, the ratings for the playoff, every single game are going to be incredible. So there's a dichotomy going on here. You got a sport that is ill, that is sick because of how difficult it is. To keep a team together and fans just feel jilted all the time. But on the other side of things, there's the idea that fans still watch the games and love this sport too.
But Phil, I like what the playoffs are. Right, I like what happened. I'm not one of these people that thinks the SEC should have gotten 5 teams in. Yeah, you can make that argument that there were 5 teams that played a tougher schedule than some of these other teams. But I still like this thing being spread around the country, giving everybody a shot. I just don't like this snobbery attitude that we're the SEC or we're the Big Ten, and the rest of you can go butt a stump because we're just better than you are. That's not what football is about. I still remember in high school going and playing this great team that nobody could beat, and we stayed with them for about a half, and that was as good as we could do, as good as anybody else did. But the chance to play those guys was everything. What about Arkansas State in basketball, just beating Memphis? That's one of the best things that's ever happened to their basketball program. Are we going to just throw all that stuff out the window and say, you're too small, we don't deal with you anymore, you don't have our money? I hate that notion, and right now we don't have that. I like the fact that the committee spread this around, whereas you've got a lot of people that go, oh, no, the SEC should have at least – and they're worried because the Big Ten got in one more than they did because the head of the selection committee was a Big Ten guy. Well, stop worrying about that stuff. Just watch the games.
Well, they certainly are going to watch the games. I don't think anybody that's listening right now won't be. Mike, we'll leave it there. I appreciate you hopping on. Thank you very much for your time.
See you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation with us each Monday on Halftime.
A little fired up. I like it, man. Let's go.
I like the fired up. Is anybody else out there fired up? 877-377-6963. Stay with us. We'll wrap up the first hour right after this.
Okay, I'll eat liver. Raw liver. If we win this game Saturday.
This is Halftime.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Have you been searching for a luxury dealership experience unlike any other? Come to Land Rover Little Rock in Little Rock, Arkansas, and discover why we're known as classy, top-tier, easy, and honest. Whether you want to upgrade your ride to a new Range Rover Velar, or you're in the market for a used vehicle of another make, you won't regret visiting our Little Rock, Arkansas Land Rover dealership for all your automotive needs. Can't make it in? Check us out online at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
If you're interested in continuing your involvement in high school athletics and want to make some extra money, what better way to do so than by becoming an official? For information on how you can give back to student athletes in Arkansas, please contact us at 501-955-2500. Again, that's 501-955-2500. The Arkansas Activities Association is looking for sports officials, and you may be the answer.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
You will never find a boring old burger at Arts.
Afternoon will be at Cross Church Student Auditorium off I-49 at the Weddington exit. Visitation is 2 to 3 in the afternoon. There'll be commemoration and testimonials from 3 to 4. I love they put on the notice about it. The attire is that football rules apply. I don't know exactly what that would mean. Maybe no stick-'em on your hands when you get in. No ties allowed. And any donations are asked to be sent to the Humane Society of the Ozarks. Bob was an animal lover, and specifically, he had 2 cats. So I like that Cal mentioned that. Trevin Brazil also said something about Bob, and we don't have a show on Friday, so I know exactly where I'm headed after we're at the All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater for our Pearson Broadcasting Christmas party. I'll be headed over to Cross Church Student Auditorium to pass on my respects to Bob Holt, and I'd love to hear some of the testimonials that a lot of his friends and colleagues will be talking about. I'm sure it'll be. Jimmy V Classic at Madison Square Garden, Arkansas against Michigan. Should be a lot of fun. Stay with us. Halftime into the second hour in just a moment.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see more clouds and sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the upper 50s to low 60s. There's a chance of a few showers tonight. Otherwise, we will see cloudy skies. An overnight low will drop down to near 35. On Tuesday, partial sunshine, a high in the low 40s. And then Wednesday, expecting sunny skies and low 40s. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com. We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here. Nothing respect it.
me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Matt Jones, may take it to the house. The dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What ain't but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. We are into the second hour of halftime on this Monday afternoon, 1 minute after 12 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson here, my partner Matt Jones. Christian Johnston is producing, and we're doing 3 Up, 3 Down, about 15 minutes with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center. Well, hey, look, Arkansas does have a transfer because, there you can actually bring players in now. This is a softball transfer coming in for the University of Texas. Courtney Day signing with Arkansas softball. So I'm assuming at some point we'll start to get some of those emails coming in from football, because if you're losing players, you're going to be bringing players in as well. If you missed out on the news earlier, we did know that both Metcalf brothers, Tevis and TJ, have announced they're entering in the transfer portal. It's not just announcing now because the portal's actually open now. So you can go in. You don't just have to make the announcement. 13 players who made an impact on the team this year are headed into the warp zone or already have jumped into the warp zone, Matt, and that's a lot. I got a text from a listener earlier that said he'd gotten a notification from his ESPN app that Arkansas leads the nation in players that have entered the portal so far.
There's a lot of talent. I mean, there's some talented guys on the roster. The guys you've kind of mentioned, I think they're going to find work, and I think they're going to contribute. Absolutely. You wonder how many of them, Kudus, Ole Miss, I guess. You just wonder how many of them are you going to play against? How many of them are going to go to a team? Because, Luke Haas could go anywhere in the country. He'd go to LSU if he wants to. Who knows where he ends up.
So I kind of wonder, as far as defensive backs are concerned, if you like losing Jalen Braxton. As I was checking around in the portal today on 247 Sports, there's quite a few members of the LSU secondary that have gone into the portal too. So I don't know. Braxton's really good. All freshman SEC. Last year really felt like having a corner like him was something that the team had planned on and ended up lacking the injury and not playing. I think he only got into one game.
I was gonna say, I don't remember him playing this year.
I think it was. I don't even know if he did play the one game now that I think of it. But yeah, that's one of the guys that already has shown that he's at an SEC level, and I would assume that he stays at an SEC level inside the league is what I'm getting at here.
Have we had Jaquindon Jackson? Did he declare for the draft? There was some talk about
from him yet. No,
because I'd give him $500,000 to come back. I don't know what the going rate is for running backs, but he's proven. You talk about guys that are proven that you know what you're getting out of them.
Also wondering, how much, what can he make as somebody that might get drafted in the latter rounds, compared to what he can make. I
think where he would go, football. Getting drafted, he would probably make somewhere a shade under a million, a smidge, like $750,000. That's about what his rookie year, when you add his signing bonus and roster bonus and his salary, that's about what. But you get 1 year closer to tenure, to retirement. That's the thing. If you want to get a running back short, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is there.
We don't know what the going rate is here, You know what the going rate is for the positions in the NFL, but you don't really know what it is in college.
And I know you need two of them, man. You need, if you have Russell coming back, you got DeBinion, you got Rodney Hill. Is he still a Razorback?
Yep, he is. Got a couple of callers on hold. Let's go to the phones. You can call us to 877-377-6963. Charlie, good afternoon, Charlie. Happy Monday. What's up?
Well, Phil, I don't think anything's really crazy. Nothing's really happened with Arkansas lately. I think everything's going well, right, guys? I mean, everything's going amazing. I love it. But you know what I've done, Phil? I think to help myself, I've turned the notifications off at this point, because every time I look down at someone else, it feels like, and I'm already in a relationship with this team, so. And how many more?
Is it a relationship or is it a situationship, Charlie? Which one?
Probably both. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna get frustrated. At this point, you're right. We gotta start filling some holes. Obviously, I mean, and the thing that I think is frustrating too, Phil. I think you said a texter texted in talking about the amount, and I wonder how many other teams. When you think about just the amount, and then these guys are playing a lot of them, most of them, and some of not all of them, but most of them, and they're producing, and they're like Metcalf, for instance. This is a guy that I think, and Matt, I don't know what you think about him, but I think he could play on Sunday. I mean, he's that talented. What he showed this year, I mean, he's a guy that for sure. And I know Braxton was hurt, Phil, but I mean, he's extremely talented as well. So. It sucks, but it is what it is, and so we got to do what we got to do and try to. Now I don't know how that works. We get all that NIL money back. What I hate though, guys, is and I want to call some fans out on this. Like, it's not just one reason why all this is happening. This is where everybody goes at Pittman, right? It's like all his fault. Let's just grab our finger, point it at one thing, and it's not that. I think it's a combination of everything. Money's involved, obviously. Probably one of the bigger things is money, but to say it's just Sam Pittman's fault while everybody is entering the portal, to me, is ludicrous. I'm not buying that. And I appreciated what Cal said about Bob the other day and, his sentiments after the game. That was really cool. Have a little, silence for him, because he would definitely be the first question. It would be a really good one. But, anyway, excited to see this team tomorrow in Madison Square Garden. Just an unbelievable place, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? Top 3 sports or places ever? I mean, up there maybe with Boston's place. It's just going to be fun to watch, and we'll see how they do. Oh, congrats to A-State, by the way, guys, going in there and beating Memphis. Didn't see that. Anyway,
game, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Charlie. Hey, look, if the word Mecca would be thrown around in some cases, it's the Mecca of basketball, so it'd be on the short list of places to see a specific sort of sport. Seeing Billy Joel too at Madison Square Garden, that's kind of the same idea. It's the Mecca of Billy Joel.
Celebrate his entire catalog.
Well, I know I do. I know BE does too. Eduardo is with us now. Hey, Eduardo, you're never going to transfer away. You got the heart of a Razorback fan. How are you?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call. I'd like to give a big shout-out again to your lady friend. How about Conway Christian one more time? Those young men woke up Saturday morning 2A state champion. How about that? You know what? I dedicated a song to your lady friend and her son and the fan base in that school and those young men. And certainly a memory they will remember will follow them in life. I went to Panic at the Disco. I cranked it up loud. Always what you do in life, when you make a living, play with a vision. Play with high hopes. Always want to be that one in a million. And I think we can apply that to a football program. There's another song I like. You talk about Miley Cyrus, the climb. I just love the song. There will be obstacles even in our own personal lives. Certainly our football program is facing obstacles. And we got to do something to climb a little higher on the mountain. Because if you don't, you'll never climb that mountain. And always keep the flames, I'll say this, burning in our fan base. And certainly this program's echoed in me and a lot of fans like California Gold. Yeah, they're not going to abandon the train, but they want better results, and you can't blame them. And you look right now, I can't think of nothing more depressing to see players leave a program. Not everything's about money. I mean, there's something internally going on within the program for players to want to leave. And you certainly cannot, I'll say it again, lose players like Hoss. I don't blame the young man. I wish him all the luck in the world. I know he's going to make some team very lucky. He's an outstanding tight end that has a God-given ability to be playing on the next level. And we didn't use him right. So that's on the coaching staff. I can't blame you that, Coach Pittman. I'll say what, I'll tell you something else. You know, we're losing players. You know, our offensive line hadn't been very good. And the one player that you had that can actually block, Kudus, he's leaving. And so I don't know where the answers lie. But I know one thing. If you look at next year's schedule, I mean, things are just not good in our program right now. That's not one thing. The fan base, you want to talk about morale, it comes from the heart, too. Let me tell you something. The morale of our fan base is not very good right now. I'll tell you something else. Mr. Yurchek, you're our athletic director. You better start paying attention, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you very much, Eduardo. There's a lot going on there. And I kind of stopped at Panic at the Disco and Miley Cyrus. I think the theme, though, right these days would be a song by Fleetwood Mac. You can go your own way. That's your warp zone going on right now. I think Charlie hit it on the head. Everybody can point to money and say, well, there's this big monolithic reason why somebody or why so many players have entered the portal. I mean, it's not just going to be one thing. It's going to be an amalgamation of things. You know, all these different factors that come in here. Money will be part of it. In some cases, not being utilized the way that you felt you should be utilized, I think will be an aspect of that. Relationships could be an aspect of that too. And I think also in some players' eyes, they think they have the opportunity to trade up. But I think all these factors kind of come in all at once. Cecil's with us. Let's take a call from Cecil before the break. Hey, Cecil, what's going on?
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing? Boy, that Charlie something else, ain't he? He keep it hype, boy. Hey, this morning I had called in, and like when you call in, you hang up, you're like, wow, I'll just wait on Madden say it, Madden Field. But, far as the portal go, and it's so much confusing, and this is just a suggestion from me. I mean, everybody got an opinion or whatever. But why wouldn't they just, instead of, like the bowl games, like Chuck was saying this morning, the other than the playoffs, the bowls really suck. He didn't say that, I said that, but they really suck. Really, they do, because you got players leaving. Okay, so to solve that problem, just have the portal after all the bowl games. That's what I would do. I mean, just have the portal. What's wrong with having the portal after the bowl game still?
I think part of the problem is that we forget that these are still football teams with schools attached to them, and they're supposed to be good. I mean, they've got to register for classes, and all these classes, the semester starts in January, I think. I mean, but then there's the logic of, okay, coach fired, coach leaves, 30 days, go into the portal. So, I mean, that kind of flies in the face of the whole aspect of registering for classes and all that. But that's, to me, that's the only reason why.
They need to think of something better. I mean, wow. I mean, you're destroying the end of the season for everybody, mostly everybody, because everybody can't get in the playoffs. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay for the playoffs soon. It's just going to take some time, but I'm sure we can finish fourth in the SEC sooner or later.
We'll find out, because they're not leaving the SEC. Cecil, appreciate your phone call. Thanks a lot. All right, we got a break. There's a lot going on there. We have 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center in just a moment. But before we go, remember about Andy's Frozen Custard on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Find yourself in Conway. They're on East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive, North Little Rock, JFK Boulevard. Anytime you're craving something sweet and delicious, Andy's Frozen Custard has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Take home the pick 6. You mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors. It is the perfect game time treat. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or drive through, ready to serve you. And yes, Dr. Liggett, when you're finished with your Andy's Frozen Custard, give it about 30 minutes and then brush your teeth. We'll be back right after this.
I hate rude behavior in a man. Won't tolerate it.
This is halftime.
See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Are you Christmas shopping for the hunter, the fisherman, the working man, the marksman, the archer? Then get down to Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Check out all the toys for all the boys, no matter what their age. Jelco Outdoors is your locally owned store for work and the great outdoors. Jelco gift cards are always a perfect fit. This Christmas, shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Merry Christmas from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's all
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It's our second segment, hour 2 on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. We've enjoyed starting this segment up over the last couple of months. We've got Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center in the studios right now, right next to Matt Jones. That's why you hear widespread panic. And it's time for 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3, good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 Up and 3 Down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
3 things we like, 3 things we don't like. One thing I know I do like is Dr. Charlie Liggett. He is joining Southeast Missouri State to the woodshed, though it took a little bit of time. They were down 24-12 in the first minute of the second quarter. They went on to score 29 of the next 30 points in the second quarter. They went on to score 40 of the next 1 points in the game and win 84-4. White hot chaos, and that's what's going on in college sports right now. It's not a bad thing to have free movement for labor. The problem in this case is that it happens on an annual basis, and there's a reason they didn't do it in professional sports, because lengthier contracts make sense. And I don't even think it's just the idea of fans want to feel that there's some consistency to a roster and that you can grow close to a team. It works for the coaches too, for the owners too, to not have to just sign everybody on an annual basis. That's what we're doing now in college football. It was not designed for this. Right now, no, it shouldn't say right now. I checked it at 9:21 this morning on the 247 Sports website. There are 910 players in the NCAA transfer portal. Now, that might even be a low number. That's on the first day that the portal opens. That's over 8 full football teams in college. You can't keep this going. So unfettered every year free agency in college sports gets a down for me. Matt, what do you got for your first one?
All right. First one is to Coach Dow Loggins, has his South Carolina Gamecocks in the top 20, and so that get him a new gig, man. He's got his first head ball coach. Proud of him. App State for Coach Loggins. And then
that's amazing. I think 4 years in college, right, as a coach, 2 as the tight ends coach at Arkansas, 2 as the OC at South Carolina, and now he's a head coach for a good program too.
Yeah, I've been offensive coordinator at a couple, the Bears, the Titans, a couple places. Worked with the Cowboys for a little bit as well, and then Barry Odom as well, getting a head ball coach at Purdue. Both those guys, man, that's what happens. You get your team in the top 25, and bright things. So good for them. I think Barry Odom's. It's a good spot because the Big Ten, you got to be able to play defense, and man, if you can win at Purdue, you can win anywhere.
Yeah, I think you're right.
First down, which is kind of an up, but it's the Spurs, Tottenham Spurs. They had a 2-0 lead on Chelsea. Chelsea came back to win it 4-3. Man, just a heck of a match. Chelsea's in second place in the Premier League right now.
All right, Dr. Liggett, what you got?
Okay, first up for today, Dolphins win in overtime. That brings their record to 6-7, keeping their playoff hopes alive. If you follow this, it was a scoregami, 26-32, meaning that's the only time that particular score has ever happened in the NFL. So 26-32. The special teams played really well. There's a couple really big tackles on punts, and the biggest was the run back by Washington in overtime. Ran it back to midfield or somewhere around midfield, and set up the game-winning touchdown. Jonnu Smith came alive at the end. He hadn't done anything all game and been one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and he had the game-winning touchdown.
It's outstanding. Well, yeah,
they keep their playoff hopes alive, and the Jets are eliminated. So, yeah, divisional win.
What do you got for your first down?
Well, that good segue there, Matt. Jets would be my first down. They're 0-7 this year in games decided by 6 points or less, and they also missed with that loss. They missed the playoffs for the 14th year in a row.
Wow.
That's kind of surprised me when I heard that, but they've been bad for a while. But, that made me think. I really agree with Phil that just because you lose by a few amount of points doesn't mean you're a good team just right on the edge. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. I mean, just look at the Chiefs. They got to have some kind of deal with the devil or something. I mean, the doink kick right at the end ends up going through. It seems like every week there's something that Mahomes does magical that gets to win. They're a good team. They find ways to win. Jets are a bad team. They find ways to lose.
Third string kicker doinking a field goal to win. That feels like feels like some magic, some magical forces that are exerting.
The Clemson kicker used up all the good luck for kickers this week.
Right. All right, here's my second up.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Right. I put about 90 minutes into Yacht Rock Saturday at home. It's on Max. It's on your Max app. The Yacht Rock documentary is amazing. And he's pretty much like the star of it. Michael McDonald, who the hair isn't quite as long, the beard isn't quite as bushy as it used to be, but the voice is still just as good. Oh, I was just geeking out on this, Matt. Standing there by myself, drink in hand, 9:30, swaying back and forth to the Doobies, to Seals and Crofts, to Player, Ambrosia, Christopher Cross, Michael McDonald, Steely Dan. What is wrong with me?
Good living.
I had a great time. That was fun. It's a great documentary, and it is worth your time. It's just 90 minutes. It's good culture. Second down is to Greg Byrne, the athletics director for the Alabama Crimson Tide. He says he's going to reevaluate their non-conference. It's not the non-conference slate that didn't get Alabama into the playoff. It's losing to Oklahoma and to Vanderbilt. That's what did it. I mean, the issue is not the way that SEC teams, I think, schedule their non-conference slate. I think it has a little more to do with potentially it's the depth of the league and maybe the way that the Big Ten was able to schedule some of their teams. Now, they did not think that Indiana would end up being as good as Indiana is. But I wonder if is it really the amount of games, or maybe are we going to go to a point now? We already know what the schedule looks like next year for the SEC map, but maybe we get to a point where you do like a reverse NFL style scheduling. You know how the NFL does it? There's a first place schedule, there's a second place schedule. First place teams play each other in each division, and that's how you account for the success from the year before. Maybe you're going to end up seeing it done in a reverse way in the SEC, to where the team that finishes first gets the easiest schedule the next year. So then that helps the good teams stay better and get your 4 teams into the playoff every year. Or maybe the SEC is just going to take its ball and go away, or force the hand of the other business partners, and they're just going to get 4 teams in because it's the best football league. I just don't think it's about reevaluating your non-conference schedule. It was really fun over the last day or so to see the meltdowns from athletic directors and coaches.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson kind of messed it up, and Notre Dame kind of messed it up. You know, Notre Dame, anytime they go 10-2, they're going to take a spot away. And yeah, you're right. The Vandy and the Oklahoma. I mean, if Bama would have went 10-2, you know who would be in the playoffs? Alabama.
You got that right, Matt. What you got? Number 2.
Number 2. Let's see. Rhett Lashley, another Arkansas teammate, a former teammate of mine. Shiloh Christian quarterback, great dude. Getting SMU to the playoff 12. I mean, how wild is that? Had them in there. I thought they competed well. I thought they played tough. They didn't look like, they hung around. So, I mean, I think they earned it.
You know what that game did? We say like there's no such thing as a moral victory. That's as close to a moral victory without it being about your moral, about how you feel about yourself. Them fighting back from the way that they did to tie the game and to lose on that kick, that's winning by losing. I mean, if they'd have lost by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, I don't think the committee puts them in. The way they lost got them in.
I'd much rather see Texas, Alabama. That you're getting Clemson, Texas. I'd much rather see that be Alabama, and because I don't think Clemson can beat Texas. My second down, which is kind of another up as well. Man City continues the reverse of a purple patch. They draw with Crystal Palace 2-2, so they drop more points. There you go.
What would be the opposite of a purple patch? A gray patch? Silver patch?
They Man City, they're a machine. They lost the Ballon d'Or. Rodri, he's a CDM, and so he's been out, and they've kind of been going through some injuries. Kevin De Bruyne, who's the Belgian James Bond, he's back and healthy. Daku, who's one of their wingers, is just absolute a joy to watch. But they've had so much success. I think they've won 6 regular season titles in the last 8 years. So it's kind of weird for them not to to not have a chance this early, that they're out.
Dr. Liggett, what's number 2 for you?
Number 2, Matt kind of mentioned it a second ago, but Nolan Hauser, the kicker for Clemson, hits a 56-yard game winner. But right before it, I don't know if you guys saw this clip, he looks at the camera and winks, and he goes and just nails the 56-yarder. It was pretty cool. So it sends them to the playoffs. So Phil, how do you feel about a 3-loss team in the playoffs?
I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it, but it doesn't. I'll accept it. I don't have
it's
to.
It's like a few years ago when A&M made it to the SEC championship or whatever. It's like they had their best year, but if you go and you win your conference tournament, you get an at-large bid. I have no problem with Clemson being in there. Those are the rules. They won the ACC title.
That's exactly right. Those are the rules. And I do feel the rules are going to change at some point soon.
That's the one thing that's consistent is the rules just change every year with college football. We're just making it up as we go.
What's your you got a second down?
Yeah, second down is just bowl games nowadays. It's so hard because if you're not in the playoff with the portal and with opt-outs, it just doesn't make bowl games the same. So I guess we just have to kind of think of them differently. Just an opportunity to get to watch the younger players, redshirt guys, whatever. But it's not, like you said earlier, it's not the same team that you've watched all year. It's going to be a shell of that team.
Yeah, but I wonder if that quarterback from UNLV, if he follows Barry Odom to Purdue, you think that it'd be a question to?
I think he'd have trouble signing it. For Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Ooh, that'd be an interesting phone call to make.
Yeah.
Hey, coach, you remember recruiting me last year? You want to try that again? How'd it work for you the first time? Third up goes to the most recent members of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Well, they haven't been inducted yet, but they've been elected. Dick Allen and Dave Parker. Unfortunately for Allen, he passed away 4 years ago, so he's not alive to enjoy this, and he probably should have been elected into the Hall of Fame a long time ago. Allen was, by the way, he made history in the state of Arkansas. He was the first African-American to play for the Arkansas Travelers in the 1963 season as a Phillies farm club, and he wrote about it in his autobiography. He wore a batting helmet in the outfield because fans threw things at him in the outfield. Ended up having a great season, a fantastic career. He was a American League MVP with the White Sox, played for the Phillies, a few other teams too. He didn't get elected because the writers didn't like him. Dave Parker, I got a chance to watch Parker, who had one of the greatest nicknames ever, the Cobra, when I was like 6, 7, and 8 years old. He was kind of like Darryl Strawberry before Darryl Strawberry, big, tall, left-handed power hitter who had a cocaine problem. The cocaine issue keeps Strawberry out of the Hall of Fame, but apparently not Parker. He did have a really, really good career. He was great, but he could have been better. By the way, with Allen going into the Hall of Fame, that's 6 Arkansas Travelers who will be in the Hall of Fame. Bill Dickey, Travis Jackson, Jim Bunning, Fergie Jenkins, Pat Gillick, and now Dick Allen. My third down is that Tommy John didn't get in. He was on this era committee, or he was a candidate from this era committee, and the guy won over 290 games. He's got the freaking surgery named after him. He was somebody that was a flamethrower before the surgery and then was able to get a ton of ground balls and just be a control pitcher, and I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame too, so that gets my third down. Matt.
Third up, gotta give a shout out for the Arkansas Razorbacks making a bowl game. I know it's not, what you want, what you desire, but man, it's a reward. Go out there and have fun, represent your university. A lot of times it might be some of these guys' last time to play, and it's beneficial to get more practice time. So really, that's what this is about. You're going to get a lot more practices and more film room, more study. So you can develop, and maybe you see somebody's going to earn a starting job that they didn't think was going to start through this bowl practice and bowl game. I'm telling you, that's somebody will take advantage of it and earn a starting role. Third down, kind of another up though. Arsenal drops points as well. 1-1 tie with Fulham. But both Man City and Arsenal dropping points. The Chelsea up to second and Liverpool in first place.
Dr. Liggett, you're number 3.
Number 3, largest contract in sports history.
Oh, my goodness.
Soto signs with the Mets for 15 years. So he's signed with the Mets until he's 41. So I feel that's another Bobby Bonilla day coming up in a couple years. What do you think? He's got 5 more years?
Well, who knows if he really is that old too? That was kind of the thing with some of the Dominicans. And where is he? What island is he from? Isn't he?
He's Dominican.
Yeah. I mean, is he really 41, or is he is he going to be older?
Well, so the other aspect is there's no deferred money in this contract. None. So like the Dodgers are putting most of the money in Snell and Ohtani and Freeman. A lot of that is deferred money, but it's different. Like I guess there's different levels of billionaires, right? Cohen, I think he might be the richest owner in Major League Baseball. $23.1 billion. So stretching out like over $800 million over 15 years, that's nothing for him. Nothing. It doesn't need to be deferred money. Soto's truly a great hitter. Nobody has a better idea of the strike zone and his strike zone than Juan Soto does right now. And he makes everybody else in the lineup better. There's no surprise. Look, he gets to the Yankees. They go in their first World Series since 2009. This is not a coincidence. He's a great hitter. He's going to take the Mets to a World Series at some point.
Are the Yankees kind of shooting themselves in the foot? Like, are they? How big of a loss is this for the Yankees?
It'd be a giant loss for anybody.
Yeah.
You lose production, you lose protection for your other 2 big-time hitters. And that's the issue with the Yankees, too, is so much of it was, look, we got 3 outstanding hitters in this lineup and then 6 other guys. So now they got 7 other guys and 2 outstanding hitters. But, the offseason is still kind of young. Dr. Liggett, you just did your third one, right? Your third down?
I got my third down right now.
Okay, go for it.
So my third down was, okay, my daughter's a cheerleader, a competitive cheerleader at Southside. And so I felt like I had this inside information because she has some friends that are cheerleaders at U of A. And so Luke Haas recently got engaged to one of the cheerleaders. So I thought, he's engaged to a cheerleader. There's no way that he's leaving. So he's leaving. So I don't know if the cheerleader's going to transfer as well, or
I think she graduated. Somebody had texted in. I think she graduated.
Oh, did she graduate? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he said. Yeah, I remember in his tweet too. He said, "I spoke with my fiance, and they've got the plans for it and everything. So it's just the next phase of their life together."
There you go.
Yeah. Again, don't have to like it. You just kind of do have to accept it. Dr. Liggett, how's things going at River Valley Smile Center these days?
Going good. We're busy.
I'll bet you're busy. I'll bet, especially this time of the year. If people are looking to make an appointment, they need to kind of call right now. Is things kind of piling up with the holidays?
Yeah, they really do. This time, end of the year, people trying to use up their insurance before it's done. It starts getting really busy. So you want to call sooner rather than later.
Was I right too about from the Andy's frozen custard? If you don't want to brush your teeth, it's not right after you eat something. Don't you want to give yourself 30 minutes for the saliva to work breaking down the food?
Yeah,
I know.
Well, especially if it's acidic. So because after you eat or drink something acidic and you brush your teeth right after, you can wear down your enamel much faster.
Mm-hmm. Helps to have a father who's a pediatric dentist.
There you
Dr.
go.
Liggett, we appreciate you very much, man. Matt, I really enjoy having Dr. Liggett here in studio for this 3 Up, 3 Down, and getting to know him as well. He's a great guy.
Well, I appreciate it. I love being here.
Let's go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins.
Yeah.
Go Hogs.
That's probably the best way to make him feel good. 479-646-0706 to call for an appointment or go to rivervalleysmilecenter.com. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you're there, you become family. Stay with us. Halftime continues after this quick break.
Coverage is presented by Future Marine, your duckboat authority, proudly powered by Tohatsu Outboards. Tohatsu Outboards, feel the wind. Log on to futuremarine.com. And by Mock Legal Solutions, now in Fort Smith and Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Quality legal services for a low, flat cost. Call Jackie Mock at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
It's been waiting for you. Welcome to
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
This is halftime.
What makes Crabtree RV Center different? First, we are a fourth-generation family-owned business taking pride in making your family's dreams come true. No corporate mentality here. Second, we've been in business for 74 years, founded in 1950 here in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas area. We are not going anywhere. What does that mean for our customers? A family feel with no corporate hidden fees. The reassurance that we will be here for generations to come, and knowledgeable salespeople who want to pick the right RV for your family to make lifetime memories in. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
It's that time of year. Longer nights and colder weather can mean higher energy bills. But Arkansas Oklahoma Gas wants to help you save on your energy costs this winter. A healthy heating system equals a happy home and wallet. Ensure it runs efficiently by scheduling regular maintenance with a licensed technician. Adjust ceiling fans to spin clockwise to help push warm air down. Keep your thermostat on a lower setting, health allowing, and layer up on clothing. For more money-saving tips, visit aogc.com/winter.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
It's Ty Richardson live at Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental. I'm here with my friend Gail Rainwater. One of the many things you guys offer is tuxedo rental.
Yes, we do a great business of renting for weddings and proms. What sets us apart from most other places that rent clothing, you get to try it on. You come in, we measure, you try it on immediately. And the reason for that is we carry everything in stock. You get to check the fit immediately. Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, where it's fun to look good.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time was drifting, this rocket got to roll. So I hit the road and made my getaway. Restless feeling. See the light, see the light.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Tennessee is the new #1 team in the country in the AP basketball poll that was released. Tennessee, Auburn, Iowa State, Duke, and Kentucky making up the top 5. Alabama and Florida are also in the top 10. That's 5 of the top 10 in the SEC. This league is going to be just crazy once it starts in less than a month now, too. When you look at the schedule, tomorrow night, Madison Square Garden against Michigan. Saturday, North Little Rock, Simmons Bank Arena against UCA. Then a week break, North Carolina A&T December 21st. 9-day break. Then you play Oakland December 30th, and then you get the #1 team in the country, Tennessee, on January 4th. The SEC is crazy, crazy right now, Matt Jones. And it just got tougher and tougher over the weekend. The league went 11-1. Only Texas lost.
Football, baseball, now, dare I say, basketball, best conference. I mean, baseball and football, we kind of know. Even though the Big Ten got 4 in, we get it, but I still think the SEC is the best football conference.
I think it is too. Baseball far and away. Women's basketball it's been the deepest league for a long, long time, and I think that'll continue this next year. And now men's basketball is in a place where it hasn't been maybe ever. You know, you just don't have the string of national championships from baseball, from football, and from women's basketball, but maybe that'll change this year. Certainly feels like there's 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 teams in the SEC that could compete for a national championship this year. 877-377-6963. You got to do your Christmas and holiday shopping over at the Stadium Shop for your favorite Razorback fan friend or family member. The Stadium Shop on Razorback is right next to Baum Walker. Get over there for all your Razorback needs, tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, dorm room stuff, Christmas decorations as well. You can call them at 479-STADIUM. Go online to shoponrazorback.com and make sure they know ESPN Arkansas sent you. Quick break. Back to wrap up the second hour in just a moment.
Who's the big winner here tonight at the casino? Huh? Mikey, that's who. Mikey's the big winner.
This is halftime.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
On my way to better I found myself some way. Distant roads are calling me.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Well, a couple of teams losing their potential top returning receiver for the next year into the transfer portal. Georgia Tech's Eric Singleton has announced he's headed into the portal. He was a freshman All-America last year. This season, 48 catches, 714 yards, 6 touchdowns. He led the Ramblin' Wreck in receiving. Cam Coleman, who would have been the leading returning receiver for Auburn, is also in the portal. He's got 3 years of eligibility, 37 catches, nearly 600 yards, 8 touchdowns. I saw Texas Tech is losing their starting left tackle into the transfer portal. So it isn't just at Arkansas that you're losing starters on either side of the ball. To me, it's the volume of starters that might be a little bit eye-opening, brow-furrowing, whichever way you want to put it. Because, let's see, I got 8 of them, not all starters, but Haz is a starter, Kudus and Braun are starters right there. So that's 3 out of your 11 that would be starting that are into the portal. But there's receivers out there to get to, Matt. Yeah, well, Satania too. That's right. I've forgotten to write Isaiah's name in here.
Yeah.
So and he would have been the leading returning receiver.
Anthony, it'll be his time. Anthony's time to step up.
Your time to call us is right now, 877-377-6963. Our third hour includes Tommy Kraft behind neutral lines out there in Manhattan, getting ready for Arkansas and Michigan. I'm sure that's all he's doing in Manhattan is just studying scouting reports on these teams, figuring out the best place to sit for the game and all of that, and not just really enjoying everything Manhattan has to offer. We're into our third hour. Join us or just listen. We'll be right back.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Have you been to the River Valley's only multi-sport facility? Then let's hang out. The Hangout in Fort Smith is the only sports facility that offers indoor tennis and pickleball, indoor and outdoor basketball, and has now added multiple soccer fields. Soccer leagues are forming soon. Did you know the Hangout also has an 8,000 square foot fitness center with bar, yoga, HIIT, and Pilates classes? The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thehangoutfs.com. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out. Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see more clouds and sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the upper 50s to low 60s. There's a chance of a few showers tonight. Otherwise, we will see cloudy skies. An overnight low will drop down to near 35. On Tuesday, partial sunshine, a high in the low 40s. And then Wednesday, expecting sunny skies and low 40s. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com. You got a team in here that's the perspective. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well,
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Back with you on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson with Matt Jones and C45 taking over in the producer's chair. We got you for the next 60 minutes. Tommy Kraft in Manhattan, New York City will be joining us in about 15 minutes. That is actually New York County, where Manhattan is located. Calls and texts come in at 877-377-6963. I can see a tweet from a former Wisconsin Badger defensive lineman, James Thompson, that he's been getting he got an offer from Arkansas. So usually they report the offers out of high school. Now you get a guy who's he's played 3 full seasons of college football at Wisconsin that Arkansas is looking at as a defensive end. He only played in 1 game this last year, so must have been an injury. But guy had 3 sacks in 2023, 2 sacks the year before. There you go. I mean, that's the first one that I'd seen an offer from Arkansas. I know there's a junior college defensive back that is visiting maybe now or was over here over the weekend. So that's the other side, Matt, of this exit, and it is an exodus. I think you can actually use that term if you wanted to. I got to get my math right again here, but it looks like there are 9 on the offensive side, 5 on the defensive side that have made a difference at Arkansas at any point this year. That's 14 players, might be, depending on what the text from our listener. If the notifications on the ESPN app were going to him, it could be the most players that are in the portal. I would also advise, let's live a life without the notifications. I never do notifications, whether it's Warp Zone season or not. So, yeah, turn those things off if you don't want to know anything about it now, because it's just going to keep coming over and over. There's over 1,000 players that are in the portal right now, and the thing just opened.
I could see C.J. Brown having a 100-yard receiving game in this bowl game.
Anthony too,
making an effort. Yeah, man, I like Anthony. But Armstrong's gone, Satanya's gone. So you're going to have some receivers step up. Somebody's going to earn a starting job. I'm telling you, there'll be a couple youngsters that step up in this bowl practice and have a good game, and they'll be starting. And then you get spring ball coming up again, so it's just another time to get out there and work your craft.
Phil, you mentioned Shamar Easter. I'd love to see him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been wondering what's happened with Shamar, because I don't think we've seen him much at all in the 2 years that he's been at Arkansas. So that's one. But the other aspect, too, is, like, there just aren't a lot of tight ends right now. So, I mean, Shamar has to play. Andreas Pashka would be your lead tight end. And as I'm looking at the depth chart from the Missouri game, there just aren't a lot of receivers that are still around from that depth chart. I haven't heard anything about Broden, whether or not he's playing in the bowl game or not, but he's out of eligibility, so it doesn't come back next year.
He's got to change his major.
Yeah.
82 could be a tight end. He could be an H-back.
I wonder about Harrison.
Put a little, he's got the strength, and sometimes you kind of have a power tight end and it'd be like a weak side tight end. You're not really going to have to run right over the, you run some little stretch plays or some zone plays, but he maybe he's not the big tight end, but you got to be able to run enough. But he seems like that might be a spot for him.
Looks like Tykeus Crawford has just entered the transfer portal too. I mean, that was a guy that was, I think, in the Liberty Bowl. I think he started that game and had a chance. That's one of those positions where, all right, well, now you get a chance to go out there and earn a starting role. And it didn't work out for him. Like if I remember, I think he was a 5-star and never really broke through on the offensive line, which also says too here. I mean, it's like you got opportunities for starting roles on the line right now. Both starting guards are in the portal. And here's somebody that has played some guard at Arkansas and some tackle, and he's going into the portal too, but I just don't expect that he's going to be signing. Like, that's one of the players that didn't crack through at Arkansas. I'd be surprised if he's going to another school that's at the same level. Like Satania, can see him going to any number of places where they need a speedy receiver who can also return kicks. The same like with Ty Washington. I like what I saw out of Ty Washington. You said he's got an offer from USF, but I expect that maybe bigger programs could be looking at him. Though on the other hand, I mean, he did refuse to go in, and that got out publicly. So I wonder if that's something that coaches will take, at least a second thought about.
You at least have to have that conversation. I mean, that's you got to have that conversation.
So, yeah, I mean, you got, and so that's another. I mean, Crawford. I would have assumed Crawford would have been a starter in this bowl game.
Yeah, I mean,
his experience.
Kudus as well. Like you said, that's 2 starters. And then Satania. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot so it's next man up. Get to work and
we just don't know who the next man is.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild on the frontier.
It's just a front. That's all it is. It's a frontier that's never ending right now. Because even when the portal, when the warp zone closes, and remember things changed a little bit this year. What's the date? 28th, December the 28th. The warp zone closes. That's the day after Arkansas plays in the Liberty Bowl, and then any coaches get fired, any coaches leave for another job, and you know that by the time December 29th rolls around, there's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs to come. Oh, you're doing this for another month.
Wonder how many UNLV running Rebs follow Barry Odom to Purdue? Because would you say it's a step up? I mean, playing in the Big Ten, right?
Oh, yeah.
In UNLV's defense, man, they had a couple nice pieces that I would like for Arkansas to go get.
Well, you probably have to fight Odom for him in this case, too. I mean, depending. That's 1-11, though. I mean, Purdue, what was the final score of their last game? 66-0 against Indiana?
I don't think they got off the bus, yeah.
1-11.
Speaking of changing majors, I mean, there's a time where it comes to you and everybody, you got to hang them up, but I hope those kids are going to class.
I think they've changed the name of the nickname of the team to the Boiler Breakers. That's some bad stuff right there. Yeah, that's really bad humor. I understand that, but it's still appreciated. 1-11, 4-8 the year before. It's kind of funny thinking this. So Indiana's in the playoff. I haven't looked at it, but I can't remember the last time Indiana and Notre Dame played football. Do share a state, right? Indiana.
What a matchup, man. Speaking of first-round matchups,
it's amazing.
I love that match. I mean, that's going to be – there'll be 150,000 people just around the stadium. That's going to be sick.
But that's like – so the Purdue has been a better football program than Indiana
Drew Brees,
historically.
Right? I mean, Drew Brees is an alum.
It's not like –
Kyle Orton.
It's not like Indiana has ever been the next coming of Nebraska from 96 and 97 or, any of the great Miami teams. It's not like that. It's just they've been better than Indiana. And yet Indiana is the program that's playing in the playoff against Notre Dame, for crying out loud. What's that like for the Purdue fans? So bringing in Barry Odom, who had a little bit of success at Mizzou. But that's the thing is people point to, well, you missed out on getting Odom here at Arkansas. I never really thought that was going to be an option. Didn't really think that was going to be that. The guy that I wonder about now is your former teammate, Matt, is Dowell Loggins, depending on what happens at App State. Eli was there for 1 year. Eli Drinkwitz was the head coach at App State, not even for a full season. He didn't coach their bowl game because he took the Mizzou job. He put up 10 wins there. What's to say? Some kind of this guy that's got NFL coaching pedigree. There was a marked improvement from his first year at South Carolina to the second year at South Carolina. What do you think about in the future, Dowell Loggins?
He's got some lore about him. That's for sure, man. I mean, App State, you talk about that's like a cult band, like it's like a non-mainstream band that you really like. I mean, that's really talented. They got great football tradition. I mean, I think it's set up to go there and win. I think Dow, wherever he goes, man, he's kind of got that coach nut ability to motivate the players and relate. That's the biggest thing is you got to be able to relate, speak the same language as them. Dow's going to win wherever he goes.
Well, we'll see what happens first at App State because it is coming up shortly. Also is coming up right now at Twin Peaks in Rogers with Christmas shopping season happening right now. They got holiday bonus cards available for you to purchase for your friends. $5 bonus cards, $10 bonus cards, $20 bonus cards. When you spend $25, $50, or $100 on a gift card for your friends, that's right. Put down $25 for a gift card, you get $5 bonus card back. Spend $100 on a gift card at Twin Peaks, you get $20 back. The bonus cards are available to redeem through January of 2025. That's at Twin Peaks in Rogers. They have ugly sweater giveaways every Friday this month. They'll also be celebrating National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day on December the 20th. Twin Peaks in Rogers. That's where you get 29-degree draft beer made from scratch fan favorites and sports always blasting from every angle. They're going to have bowl games on every single day, or college basketball or the NFL. It's the ultimate game day experience at Twin Peaks or online to go at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. Always more to watch at Twin Peaks. We take a look into Manhattan. The Big Apple, not the little one. Tommy Kraft is in Manhattan. We'll get with him in just a moment on Halftime.
Yo, Adrian, it's me, Rocky.
This is Halftime. Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster. And in the past decade as a roofing contractor, he knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
The Study Basketball Training has moved to the Hangout in Fort Smith. With basketball training classes from kindergarten through high school, there is a spot for your athlete. Depending on your skill set and training needs, the Study offers 3 class options: fundamentals, advanced, and 94 feet. You can also work on your explosiveness with Vertimax training or perfect your shot on the Dr. Dish machine. The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thestudyhoops.com for more details. Fitness, sports, and now the Study Basketball Training. Let's hang out.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jasco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jasco. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Well, the Razorbacks play Michigan tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden, part of the Jimmy V Classic. Miami and Tennessee are also playing the same day. They'll be before the Razorbacks play. Behind enemy lines in New York City, which I think is more like behind neutral lines. It's 615 miles from Ann Arbor to Madison Square Garden. It's a little more than twice that distance from the University of Arkansas to Madison Square Garden. So we could go behind enemy lines if we want, I guess, too. Thanks to Mock Legal Solutions and Futrell Marine for sponsoring Behind Enemy Lines in New York City. Tommy's there right now. Tommy, where in New York are you, and how are you doing?
I am on 6th Avenue, and I was just minding my own business. A little bit of a rain shower, and this sign in front of this place called Pizza Notte jumped out and hit me in the leg, and it said 2-for-1 martinis on it. And I said, I got to go in there. I'm getting ready to talk to Phil Elson, the martini master. So, I just figured it was destined that I'd be sipping on a martini while talking to you guys.
Well, perfect, man. That's great. Middle
It's
of the day.
2-for-1. I mean, it's 2-for-1. How could you afford not to?
Yeah, you don't want to lose money.
No, I mean, exactly. You'd be going backwards.
You guys take care of the rest of the segment. I got a drink to go make here while we do this. Tommy, are you having yours shaken or stirred? That's a question from BE. I go stirred because if you shake it, you're breaking up the ice.
It was shaken, so.
All right. It's a little weaker. You ever been to Madison Square Garden? Is this the first time?
I've not. Third time ever to New York City. Never been to Madison Square Garden. So the whole reason for the trip was to go, see one of the meccas. Certainly the mecca of basketball, right? I mean, but there's been so many big boxing events, Billy Joel concerts. Arkansas playing Michigan's a minor thing in the matter of Madison Square Garden. But over the years, all the Knicks games. But for Arkansas fans, I think for the history of the program, I mean, it's noteworthy to play there.
What do you expect out of this Arkansas team? The two teams that Baylor and Illinois, two teams that I think will be in the NCAA tournament. Arkansas's got an L. I think Michigan will be in the NCAA tournament as well. How do you think the Hogs will fare?
I think they'll lose if they play like they did Saturday. I mean, right? I mean, it's getting frustrating to see the way this team has played, the level in which they played at. I'm ready for them to turn it on, Matt, and just seems like you either have Flan or the Arrow every night kind of be the hero to pull your fat out of the fire against a team like UTSA. And I'm a little frustrated with this team. I'm ready for them against a quality team step up because I'm not sure Miami, who is also here in town or going to be in town tomorrow for their game with Tennessee, is a tournament team at all. So I don't think we've seen what I would call a quality win yet this year.
You know, there just really isn't a lot of games left before SEC play to start, coming together and looking like a cohesive unit from the start of a game. And I thought they looked cohesive in the second half against UTSA. It's just you play like that against Tennessee where you open up your SEC
on the road.
Again.
Yeah.
In the first half, you're going to end up down by 30 in the first half. Can't do that.
Well, yeah, you got to play 40 minutes, and that's what we haven't seen enough. You're right, Phil. They put together a great half against UTSA in the second half. They put together a great 10 minutes, really, in the final, 10 or 12 minutes, Matt, you'd say, against Miami down there.
I thought that was their best 12-minute stretch that they've had all year.
Right, but, I mean, is there really a game we can point to that they played great for 30-plus minutes of the 40 or 40, play a full 40-minute game? Some of that's a function of injury. Some of that's a function of they haven't been able to have everyone healthy on the floor, only having 7 guys maybe available. I still say until Adu and Trevin Brazil or Jonas Adu and Trevin Brazil are fully healthy and ready to give you 30 minutes, I still don't think we're anywhere close to seeing what this team can be about.
Yeah, and just as soon as the two of them start getting, into more game shape or better game shape, then you lose Ivisic for I don't know how long with this ankle thing, and I see Michigan's got a couple of twin towers. They got a couple of 7-footers, both averaging double-figure points, and it's just like that's where Arkansas is at their weakest, and it's not because of not having talent in the post or anything. It's because you just haven't had guys that are healthy there.
So how do you have to counteract that? Probably being better perimeter shooters, and that's one thing they've struggled with, shooting the three consistently, and defending the three has been a problem, as it's been for a few seasons now with this program.
See, this happens in New York, too. All of a sudden, phone calls get dropped. You got all these buildings around there, too. You'd think, you know what? They might have
Playing
enough cell phone
games.
reception.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. By the way, did you notice Tommy Kraft shows up in Manhattan, and the day he shows up, they've identified the shooter of the CEO from United Healthcare.
Mm.
Funny how these things can work sometimes, huh?
That was wild.
I was going to ask about sporting events you'd been to in New York. We got to get Tommy back if we can. I've been to one game at Madison Square. I saw a Big East tournament game there, like 96, 97. Outside of that, I went to a couple games at Shea, and I've been to the previous Yankee Stadium and then Yankee Stadium this year. What about you, man?
I gotta get to Yankee Stadium and see a game. First ever NFL game I ever went to was to Cowboys Giants in the Meadowlands. Got to sit in Jerry's box. I was, it's getting ready for rookie year, and then we played the Jets one year. We beat them in overtime, so that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tommy, we got you back?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of the martinis turned the phone off.
I want to. Hey, Tommy, I don't know how much of the college football you got to watch on Saturday. I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that. And did your opinion on any of these teams change by the action that happened Saturday? And then who do you like if you had to pick a winner right now?
No, I don't know that my opinion changed a lot. I think SMU is a good team, but lucky to still be in. I don't think their schedule and the strength of their schedule matches up to Alabama and what they've done. So I've got a little issue there, but maybe that's our SEC bias kicking in. Here's the thing, guys. I think it's a wide open field. And while everybody talks about the weather and the teams from the South having to go north and play, hey, none of these teams from up north have played in the conditions that are potential for these games on home campuses even this weekend. they play in November, and it can be cold for, say the Michigan-Ohio State game or any of those final weekend games, but that's a different animal than mid-December, right? I mean, I think unless you played in the pros, you don't really understand some of the weather even the home teams are going to face. So I'm not sure how big an advantage that really will be this weekend, but man, I think there's a lot of parity, and there's going to be an upset, and I think having that bye is a big advantage because a lot of them are going to be playing in domes, come second round of this thing.
Well, and also playing, this is the format that they've agreed upon for this year, and so this is how it's going to operate. But just looking at some of the teams that end up getting a bye, and the thought of both Boise and Arizona State getting byes because they win lesser conferences. There's a lot of folks that doesn't sit well, and I'm okay with it this year because this is the system they agreed upon. It just doesn't really make very much sense.
Well, if the SEC is as tough as we think it is, and as tough as we say it is, then they've got to go out and win these games. If you want to have a leg to stand on, that there should be change, and that the committee got it wrong, the only way you can shut them up is to go win, right? And make your case that, hey, the committee got it wrong by leaving Bama out. The committee got it wrong by jilting the SEC in favor of the Big Ten. You do that by winning. So, starting with this first round of games, if you're the SEC, you got to go win.
There's some fun sounds going on behind you back there, Tommy. We had a listener text in and was like, "Are you at a bar or a daycare?"
I'm telling you that the sounds of the city, sirens. I mean, every few minutes you're going to hear a siren. You're going to.
Have you noticed the smells of Manhattan might be a little different than the last time you visited?
Well, yes, there is a certain earthy tone to the smells here now versus 15 years ago. That's the last time I was here was 2009. So yeah, but I now hear what you're talking about. There is a child in the background that's not happy with her martini, apparently. So.
Well, they obviously just don't have the right person making it there. It's a fun place to be, that's for sure. So what's your schedule for tomorrow? What time is tip off, and what's your plan for the game?
Well, going to be over having dinner. Remember, I don't know, you probably don't remember David Fuchs who worked with us. He lives here. We're going to meet up with him, have some dinner, and go to the game, and get around Madison Square Garden. We're just trying to see something. It's raining right now, which not a heavy downpour, but a good enough drizzle that all of a sudden the umbrella vendors have shown up where you can buy your umbrellas all of a sudden. But get around, see some of the sights. Rockefeller Center is packed. I mean, it took an hour to get from LaGuardia to our hotel in Midtown Manhattan just because the streets are blocked. I've got everything around Rockefeller blocked up for tourist travel, and anywhere in that area, it is shoulder-to-shoulder walking. I've never seen it so densely packed anywhere than I did yesterday and today around Rockefeller Plaza. So try to get back over there and get a sneak peek or get a peek of that tree. You got a photo from a distance, but it's that's some hot real estate right now in near Rockefeller Plaza.
Well, Tommy, enjoy the city. I was there in July. I'd rather be there in July than in December, with obvious reasons.
I think so.
And enjoy the game, too.
Yeah, our friend Matt Mock from Mock Legal Solutions just landed a little bit ago. We'll be hooking up with him soon, too. So
you guys are going to have quite a time.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, have fun out there.
All right, thanks.
That is Tommy Kraft with what sounded very much like a very Aaron Torres segment with us here on Halftime.
Three olives in the martini, please.
Let's talk with I don't know if it's Gary or Jerry. If it's
Jerry,
kind of a G. This is Jerry and Alma who's called talking about basketball. Jerry, thanks for calling. What's going on?
Well, you almost had it right. It starts with a T. Terry.
That's my fault. Sorry, Terry.
GT, it all sounds the same. What do you got, Terry?
Well, you know what? Calipari, we got a Hall of Fame coach. We got one of the best recruiting classes that Arkansas has ever seen in basketball. But the reason that they're not winning like they need to be, they need to realize that they're, Sam Pittman has this in his office. You're not coming to play for the University of Arkansas. You are coming to play for the state of Arkansas. And the sooner these guys realize that they have a whole state behind them, they could, get some sort of teamwork going and say, hey, let's do it for Arkansas. Let's do it for the Razorbacks. That's just my opinion.
Terry, thanks. And I think that was in Cal's mind when he took them on that little barnstorming tour to Pine Bluff and Hot Springs, is to show them, look, I mean, we're a couple hours away from campus, or we are 3 hours away from campus, 4 hours away, and just look at the people that have showed up and how they care and everything. It's just, I do wonder if players care about that aspect of it very much. Coming to play for the state of Arkansas, but for how long and for what reason? Are they coming to play for the fans, or are they coming to play because there's a certain amount of money that works for them here, they got the right coach, and the fans end up being a bit of a tertiary aspect of it? I do think that, yeah, they are playing for the state of Arkansas. That's because of you. That's because of the fans and the way that you view this athletic program overall. It makes it unique. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way that the players will look at it. Kids from around the state, I think they have. I think they will. I think they will continue to. Kids from other places, from the Bronx, I think it's a little difficult for them to grasp that. 877-377-6963. We appreciated Tommy calling in. Behind Neutral Lines is brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions, now in Fort Smith and Sallisaw, Oklahoma. You get quality legal services for a low, flat cost. Call Jackie Mock at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice and a reasonable price. Halftime continues right after this.
Coverage is presented by Futrell Marine. Futrell Marine has Kawasaki Ridge and Ridge XR side-by-sides, offering peak premium performance that can handle whatever the outdoors throws your way. Gear up at FutrellMarine.com. And by Mock Legal Solutions, now in Fort Smith and Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Quality legal services for a low, flat cost. Call Jackie Mock at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Looking for easy holiday gifts for the grown-ups on your shopping list? You're in luck, and so are they. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is a winner wonderland. Scratch-off tickets make great gifts and start at only $1, and players win more than $1 million every day. Share the gift of winning with everyone on your list. Give scratch-offs. They're easy fun with a chance of easy money. Join the Winter Wonderland. Gift, scratch, and win today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators.
Like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer and need a bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
At GNC, we know motivation can come from anywhere. You could be at the gym, totally focused on yourself and your own goals. You refuse to be gym-intimidated. Maybe you're on a weight loss journey, a new path to change your life. Nothing's gonna stop you. Or maybe you're putting in overtime on those booty goals. No shame in getting those gains round back. You could just be out to prove that when it comes to pickleball, you are a pickle baller. No matter what motivates you, we have the fuel to keep you going. Fuel your fitness at GNC.
Finally, football season. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your #1 place to watch Arkansas and Monday Night Football. During Monday Night Football, $5 refillable beer cups for only $2 refills. Prizes for each score and at the end of every single quarter. Can you believe that they've had the same great pizza since 1996? That's nearly 30 years. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. You'll get the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
877-377-6963 for calls and texts as we get into our home stretch here on Halftime with Ruskin and Zach coming at the top of the hour. If you missed the news from earlier today, as far as the portal is concerned, Tevis Metcalf and TJ Metcalf have entered the portal. That means, I should put Carson Dean in here because he was somebody you were looking at linebacker potentially for next year. Hogs have 6 players from the defense that are in the warp zone. Got 9 on offense that have either made an impact this year or the year before. And that's just a lot of players. I don't think there are this many players from any other team that have announced they're headed into the portal right now, not in the SEC or across major college football. So, the part of the question here would be for fans, how do you feel about this? What do you think this says about the state of your program? Do you think that some of them have been told to go look somewhere else by the coaches so that they can be replaced by players that might fit their system better in those coaches' eyes? Or is this just like a mass exodus that's a little bit unexpected, Matt? I think it might be some of both.
Until there's a little more transparency, it's your guess is as good as mine. It's all about the bottom line. They're independent contractors, and I don't know that I mean, is it about winning? I mean, I guess they're probably going to go to teams that are going to win more games. I mean, what's the what's the main goal? Is it to get to the next level? Is it just to make as much money as you can while you're in college? Is it to win games and compete, or
it's got to be like different reasons for each athlete.
Yeah,
right?
I don't.
You could just it's a baseball thing though, but Luis Severino just signed with the Athletics. He left the Yankees to sign with the Athletics. In no world will next year's Oakland A's team compete at the level that the Yankees will. That's not somebody that signed to go win. That's someone that signed to make the most money I think that he possibly could. I think he took the best offer that he had. Not every player looks at it in that sense. I think in some ways they might some guys look at it, look, I can make more money going somewhere else, but I'm going to choose out of these places that are offering me where I think I can win, where we have the best opportunity to win a league and compete for a national championship. I think a guy like Kudus, I think he's looking for an opportunity like that. Luke has, same idea. And I think in Haz's case, it's to show a little more of maybe in his eyes of what an NFL tight end has to do that he might not have had the opportunity to do at Arkansas at the level that he would have thought. That's the same reason Drew Sanders left Alabama to go play at Arkansas for the 1 year, because they weren't putting him in the position that he thought he fit best at. It worked so well at Arkansas that he ends up drafted the second round the next year. Who knows the situation with Haz? I would just assume wherever he's going, he's probably a little more of the offensive plan. It's got to be different player by player.
He reminds me of an old tight end from Virginia Cavaliers that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a decade, Heath Miller. That's who Luke Haas reminds me of. Thing about Luke that I guess as a Razorback fan, and I know he's from Oklahoma, but it doesn't matter where he plays his next
as well as players that might be in a program for 4 years do. And I'd heard a caller this morning on Chuck and Bo that I think say this. I think he's got the right idea behind this. All of the you'll say, Matt, and you're right about this. It's a great time to be a college athlete. But for the money that goes into your pocket, for the money that the school puts into your education and your food and your housing, and all of that, what about some of these players that every year are enrolling in a new school and learning a new town and learning, a new stadium? And you don't see NFL players too often that are playing for 4 teams in 4 years, or even 4 teams in 5 years or 3 teams in 5 years. Are they doing themselves a disservice by constantly moving around or looking for the next place? The grass always being greener on the other side. There is another side of this argument. The grass isn't always greener, and I don't know the number, but there were plenty of kids that were just left in the transfer portal, didn't have a place to play, or wherever it is that they went wasn't what they thought it would be. But do you think that also means that the NFL product gets worse because college players don't develop as much, or is it just the college game that isn't quite as good?
Yeah, I mean, learning a new offense is tough everywhere you go. I mean, you gotta have a quarterback. You still got to be tough up front. You look at Detroit, you look at Minnesota. I mean, there's a couple teams that are doing it the right way, and then you have a couple bottom feeders. But that's every league.
Well, it's the crazy first day. Friday was wild. I mean, that was a little bit more wild. I think on Friday we got word about Kudus in the middle of the show. Then you heard about, I think Satania announced he was going into the portal Thursday. Braun's situation, like, that's wild. Just saying, all right, I'm going into the portal, and people asked him about it. He's like, no, I'm not going into the portal, and then he ends up going in. I mean, who knows what was going on there. The Jalen Braxton situation, I just have a sense the coaches expected that he was going to transfer because he didn't even play at all this year. And that was just that was a situation that just kind of, I was wondering that from the very start. You know, he kept hearing about the same injury, and it just either never got better or he just wasn't interested in playing this year. And I think people are looking at Kudus going into the portal and the idea that the reports are that he may end up signing with Ole Miss and thinking, wait a minute here, I thought you hated Ole Miss. Where's the loyalty behind this? But I just look, it's different. So like my partner for baseball, Bubba Carpenter, was lucky, Matt, because he grew up a Yankees fan, and that's the team he played for in the minor leagues. Once you got to the big leagues, it was the Rockies. But here's the thing, like, he'd have played for the Red Sox. He hates the Red Sox, but their money cashes too. Those checks cash just as well. If you're a professional, is loyalty really the thing that you worry about? Or is it about where you're going to get paid, where you get the opportunity to play, and then where you get the opportunity to maybe compete for an SEC crown and a national championship?
It's definitely not a student athlete anymore. You know, they don't even base anything based on going to class. They'll just let you willy-nilly transfer wherever you want. You would think that you'd have to be up to date on everything.
And that's the kind of the wild aspect is, remember somebody called in earlier and is asking about why don't you move the portal? I think it was Cecil. Why don't you move it to January? Well, it's because of they got to register for classes and all of that. It's like that's the fly in the ointment with all of this. With the professionalization of college sports, the fly in the ointment is that they're still athletes. They're still students. We can snicker. We can, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and all of that. It's like they're still students. They're still expected to register. It's like that's
3% go on and play in the NFL. It's like for whatever something like that. Yeah, they're going to go professional. What's that old NCAA commercial? You're going to go professional in something other.
That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Call the Hogs with Razorback women's basketball this season for exciting matchups inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, Bud Walton Arena.
All the changes we've had, the one thing that stayed really same is I'm going to coach them as hard as I'm going to love them.
Experience great family fun and entertainment by cheering on the Hogs along with the Hog Wild Band, cheerleaders, dance team, and mascot.
Carly inside, up with the ball, fouled, and one.
Tickets start at just $5 at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad,
Tyson and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Even though the holidays are almost here, there is still time to get results for your body with a personal trainer right here in the River Valley from Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill. Your choice for the results you want. Black Friday buy one, get one personal training specials. And new members get the rest of the year for free. Even more Black Friday specials to choose from. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill on 71 North. Ask about our giveaway from our partner, First Form and Vortex Optics. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill, ready to help you train for the body you deserve. Anytime Fitness, Rye Hill.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. The merger of two good companies brings together strengths to make one great company. Regerson is now Sharp Equipment. Even though it will no longer have Joe, Jesse, or Sheila as they go off on another adventure, the foundation they have laid is now a strong asset along with Sharp Equipment to complement its offerings to their great customers. Sharp Equipment would like to thank the Taylors and look forward to continuing to serve the River Valley and beyond. Stop in at 5608 Wheeler Avenue and see what all Sharp Equipment has to offer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Bengals Cowboys tonight. 7:15 ESPN. Bengals are kind of fun to watch. Cowboys ought to score some points in this one, Matt. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think either team's got a really good defense. That's putting it mildly.
Cincinnati favored -5 on BetSaris, and over-under is 50. Yee. You don't usually see 50 for an over-under. That's about the same point total that BetSaracen has for the Indiana Notre Dame first-round playoff. This will be fun. Indiana at Notre Dame, Southern Methodist at Penn State, Clemson at Texas, Tennessee at Ohio State. Which of these road teams do you think has the best chance to win? You go Tennessee? I would guess it would be Tennessee.
Well,
I don't think Indiana beats Notre Dame. I don't think SMU beats Penn State. Texas will slow down Clemson. That'll be a low-scoring game. And then Tennessee's got a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I like Ohio State in that matchup. I don't know. I like Tennessee's defense though. I'm a Heupel guy. I do not want. If you just say teams you don't like, Ohio State would be kind of up there at the top of the list.
I also wonder, like, what is it going to be like in that stadium for that game? Because the last time they played there, they lost to Michigan, and they were booing Ryan Day off the field. Now it's a playoff game. It's like I don't think the fan base there feels any different about Day now as they did after that game. It might be one of those things. Be like, you know what, you like playing in front of your own crowd. Maybe it would have been better for Ohio State to go on the road. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I think the Friday game is the Indiana Notre Dame game, so that'll be at night. That'll be a night game in South Bend, Indiana, at the southern tip of Lake Michigan on December the 20th. People worried about the cold in Memphis for the Liberty Bowl. Wow, South Bend's going to be something else. I'm not saying that as a complaining or anything. It's just going to be a little bit different. But it'll be a heck of a lot of fun. Heck of a lot of fun. Ryan wants Jamar Chase because of his fantasy team. Don't you know no one cares about your fantasy team, Ryan? We love you, but no one cares about the fantasy team. That's the truth.
But tell me about your golf game.
And your chili recipes? No, I don't think chili recipes are the same idea. Martini recipes are about the same idea. Did we have Tom? I did not have. We all have bingo cards these days. I did not have on my bingo card Tommy Kraft doing the interview with us at a martini bar with babies crying in the background. That was unexpected. Should be fun if we have him on tomorrow before the game too. Oh boy. All right, make sure you download the latest edition of the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. It'll include our conversations that we had today with Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin. It'll include 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center and Tommy Kraft behind Neutral Lines out there in Manhattan. And Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few moments. They will entertain you right up until I believe. Is there a Coach Cal radio program tonight? I don't think there would be because they got to be they're in New York. So no coach's show tonight. So they'll take you up to 7 o'clock for Monday Night Football. And we will do all this over again tomorrow. So join us at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. For Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. We appreciate you listening today to Halftime. Now, get up, get out, and get better.